Happy. What is today? Wednesday?
Wednesday, the 8th.
Wednesday the 8th. I really hope this is working because our new intro, and then I told you guys I had some computer issues, so I am really hoping that our audience is tuned in correctly. It does not look like Facebook is tuned in. Oh, technology. I am not a fan of technology. Are you a fan of technology?
I'm not a fan of working on it, but I'm a fan of when it's going good. I like it.
I don't like it. I'm not good at technology. That's a weakness of mine. I had a couple of girlfriends that were trying to get me on Chat GPT. They did. I am on. What's up, Sunny Ray? Hey, Druzy. Hey, Crystal. I am on Chat GPT now, but I am not using it probably correctly.
What is that? I don't even know what that is. What is that?
So it's AI, and so you know I have this. I have a. My book is a screen. I wrote a screenplay for my first novel. What's up, C-Dub?
What up, C-Dub?
I had to do all this character analysis and everything, and so my girlfriend Keisha and Angela were like, "Why are you not using Chat GPT to?"
So I just heard of that yesterday. I know what you're talking about now. Okay.
Yeah, so I've been on Chat GPT, and it also one of my girlfriends said you can also use it as a therapist. So you can say to Chat GPT, "I'm dealing with this issue," and it will speak back to you. My thing is, I'm one of those old school people that is I'm nervous about stepping into the future. I just don't know about telling the phone my problems because I feel like the phone is going to use it against me later.
I'm glad you said that because I'm trying to see where we at. I got a big pause on YouTube. But obviously you see people in the chat, but I'm on YouTube and it's not coming up.
Uh-oh. Oh, well, oh, Jesus.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. I see.
Okay, I was like,
so I told somebody about, they said you can ask it anything.
Yeah.
And to give you an answer. So I went back to our old interview few weeks ago about Maya Angelou.
Here we go.
And I guess they were a little apprehensive. They didn't believe me, but come to find out, like I told you.
Yeah, and you know what? I watched a Tyler Perry flick the other day with Maya Angelou and Cicely Tyson, and I cannot see her now without thinking about your information.
But imagine hearing her voice back then. Man, that's funny on my.
That is hilarious because that is not the voice that you would expect. Usually, ladies, of the night have a very soft, airy, light voice. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do it. PR Envy said, be careful with the conversation at 8 o'clock. Now, when we tune in at 10 o'clock on Friday, it could be a little bit more. What's up, Tina Bree? XO to you as well. But you know what? So tonight's Dating Diaries, we got a really good show tonight. You guys, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight because we have a great dating disaster. And then we also have our comments for today, our conundrum for today is, why do women, specifically those of us that are dating or even in relationships, why are we not listening to men? And a lot of men, and when it comes to what they like, and a lot of men feel like women are getting dressed and dressing and putting on makeup and things for other women. And I don't believe that's true, but we're going to talk about why that is. And we got some clips. Mo and I went over some clips earlier from a gentleman that he's fed up with it. He's fed up with it. And we're going to get into that. But before we do, we always start, of course, with a dating disaster, deal breaker, and or dilemma. And I thought that I would share a few of my girlfriend's dating dilemmas. over the years, because I don't think we're talking about tonight is about how petty women can be sometimes, you know.
Oh,
And I want to share with you guys how petty often women can be. Hey, Aaron, with the dating. Would you like to come in and say hello? Okay. Huh? Okay. Thank you. My brother has brought me some lasagna. Thank you, sir. I maybe try to get him on one day, but probably not today. No. So I'm gonna give you guys three dilemmas. Now, my first, this is a girlfriend from back home, and I remember she went on a date with this gentleman, and they went to a Mexican restaurant. These are three dating. I guess they're deal breakers. These are three petty deal breakers from my personal group of friends.
gotcha.
The first one is went on a first date with the gentleman at a Mexican restaurant and they had chips and salsa. You know, I am a big fan of chips and salsa.
Yes.
And this gentleman on their first date, you know how you dip the chip into the salsa?
I know what you're about to say. Yes, I do.
No, you're not going to think, because I would think, I don't believe in double dipping. And it's not a double dip, because I was like, it's not a double dip.
Okay.
He put the whole chip in his mouth without chewing, without biting. So every time he would take a chip, he would just put the whole chip in his mouth. And and a chip is a triangle.
Right.
And he would just put the whole thing in. He wouldn't take a bite.
That's what Scooby-Doo used to do. Scooby snack. Oh, it didn't.
Well, it bothered her to no end. And she just could not get past him putting the whole chip in the mouth.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's petty.
I mean, but everybody has turnoffs.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So that was a person would just, put the whole chip. But I also feel like,
Right.
but on a first date, you don't want to put, you want to eat as politely as possible, right?
You still want to be yourself, though. If that's him.
Well, they're no longer, she was not able to move past it. Another friend, was not able to move past a dirty shoe. Now, I did ask her, because the pettiest person I know is my husband. He is the pettiest person. Gun Boss, he asked who was the pettiest person. You are the pettiest person. But I would ask you, Gun Boss, put in the chat or come up and tell me, what is your deal breaker? Because I don't know. Obviously, I didn't meet one because we ended up getting married. But did you have a dating deal breaker when you were dating other women? So this young lady I was talking to, the guy had dirt on his shoe, and she's a big shoe person. Like, if he had on a bad shoe, she would not date him, but it was a little dirt. My personal issue is if a man wears a biscuit shoe. I don't like a biscuit shoe, because I feel like you can tell a lot about a person's personality, specifically men. Like, man's shoe tells you a lot about himself.
Explain the biscuit shoe to the people.
I think the ladies know what a biscuit shoe is, because it is a shoe that has a thick, hard toe, and it's just not particularly stylish. Now, hard bottoms, okay. Hard bottoms and jeans, okay. I'm okay with that, as long as it's a stylish soft leather shoe. I like a rounded boot, I'm not into a biscuit toe. And that's usually with the older gentlemen, and especially if it ties, I just don't like they know what I mean. A biscuit shoe, I don't like that. Or a white tennis shoe with a thick sole. Tonight, my mom got some New Balances. Her soles, now she has some issues with her feet, but her soles are really thick. And I was like, yeah, that's an old person's shoe. Now, she's almost 75, but you can always tell old men, because they always have like a New Balance I saw that shoe on Mr. Denzel Washington, that old man shoe. No
Well,
big toes, no old man tennis shoes.
you stick to Denzel, but you got one more time to talk about.
Oh, I saw Gail's shoe. I saw Gail's tennis shoe that she had on, and it was definitely not it was not an Air Max.
That was a gift. She had to wear that. That was a sponsor gave that to her.
She chose to wear that because of this. It was an orthopedic shoe. It was an orthopedic shoe. All right, last deal breaker. This one is a little bit different. It's kind of like what Gumboss said. Gumboss said his deal breakers were children under 10. It doesn't have anything to do with character, Constant Baby. I'm sorry. That's my pettiness. I feel like it has something to do with his sense of style. I feel like he's stuck. He's stuck in a time warp, and I'm not going to be able to pull him out. But one of my girlfriends, there's a very nice gentleman that likes her, but he has a 9-year-old daughter, and she was like, "Oh no, he's at a very different place in his life than I am. I'm not dating anybody with a child under 10 because now she doesn't have any children, but she does not want to. She just said she likes to be able to travel, and with a person with a child under age 10, they probably don't have the same flexibility. So those are just 3 deal breakers from women. I definitely was not into dating the little children. I told you guys that guy tried to bring his small children to my house, and I started hyperventilating. Like, no, don't bring a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old to my house ever. Not never. I have teenagers. I'm almost done. I cannot do it. Sunny Rain says she knows a guy who didn't go on a second date with a woman because she came to the date with a stain on her shirt. See, there are people. We all can be petty.
What kind of stain on the shirt?
You know what, Scorpio Moe? I don't think that's what Sunny Rain was talking about. Okay.
I'll just have.
I don't think it was that type of stain. Not a Monica Lewinsky.
I have
you got some petty ones, so come on with it.
No, I have a new one.
Okay.
If you sleep with the TV on, I can't do it. I'm not doing it no more.
How would you know that early on, though?
I would know that the first time you spend the night, or I ask you, do you sleep with the TV on or off?
That is petty.
I've done it a few times, and we clash. I need somebody to know what time to take their ass to bed. Hit the remote and just simply turn the TV off.
So if you guys let us know in the chat, how many people sleep with the TV on versus sleep with the TV off? I could do either way. I could fall asleep. If I'm really sleepy, I could do either way. And if I can't get to sleep, I will end up staying up either way. Because I could be up in a dark, quiet room or up with the TV on. It doesn't really bother me either way at this point.
See, I could take a nap like that. But when it's time to go to sleep and you're sleeping next to someone, and I've been nice, I'd be like, nah, you go ahead. You can just turn it down a little bit, but I'm straight. I'm never straight. No, I'm not.
Okay, what is the difference between a nap and a full rest? How does your body know the difference?
Well, there's usually a 6 to 8 hour difference.
You know what I mean. Why is your body able to rest for a nap?
Because in my mind, I'm not sleeping long. If I'm needing a nap, obviously I'm tired or I need rest. So it's not bothering me. Usually the TV's low, but when it's dark, everything is heightened. I notice. Like I've had a situation with a woman who likes to eat popcorn in the bed. Let me explain something to you. You would never know. Popcorn is supposed to be quiet food. That's why they serve it at the movie theater. But that is a lie. Popcorn is loud when the other person is trying to sleep. First of all, you got to put your hand in the bag. That's noise alone. And then you hear the crunching of every kernel when you're trying to get rest. You hear everything. That shit is annoying. Can't do it.
Popcorn is my favorite snack. And I do eat popcorn in the bed. I don't think Gumboss gets upset about the popcorn noises, but I think he does get irritated by there may be a few kernels that He gets mad about that. He's always swiping the kernels.
Yes.
See the
And also the plucking of facial hair. Can't do it.
wow, wow, wow. Let's do it today. You just
We'll get into that another time, though.
Another time. So okay. So I popcorn is my favorite snack. It can and I get Skinny Pop, which is a healthy snack. But the clipping toenails, woo!
Whoa. Who's doing that?
Dorica, so that's one of her. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like the clipping of the toenails.
Okay.
I just say that because you may leave one in the bed. Seriously.
I thought you were supposed to do that in the bathroom. I didn't know you were supposed to do it in the bed.
Supposed to do it in the bed, but I mean, because you may leave one in the bed. I don't. This feels uncomfortable. Do you have any other small petty? We're talking about petty deal breakers tonight, guys. Petty deal breakers like the eating of the full chip. Any other petty deal breakers, Mo, besides
people that I don't trust nobody that puts salt in spaghetti. I mean sugar in spaghetti. Sorry.
I don't like. But I do put sugar in my grits.
I don't know what's worse.
Grits are a breakfast cereal, like oatmeal. I don't understand these people. Grits are a breakfast cereal.
There's a grain and there's an oat.
No, it is a grain, and you put it and you can put it with butter and sugar. I like that concept. It's eating with your mouth open or snacking. That is a good one.
I don't know any women that do that, but I had coworkers that do that. That's annoying.
Sunny Rain says, I can't be with a man with weird looking hands or evil or crazy eyes.
Hey, now. Hey.
Let me tell you something. I'm telling you guys, all y'all that are hating on the sugar in the grits need to try it first. Try it. Not just say try it and think of it. Don't eat it with fish, not fish and grits. I'm talking about like grits, eggs, and bacon. Try it like you do your oatmeal. Prepare.
You put salt on your sugar too?
I put what?
You put salt on your sugar. I mean on your grit. I mean on your
grits.
Eggs.
I do put salt and pepper. I don't really eat scrambled eggs, but I eat boiled eggs whenever I eat eggs. I try not to eat eggs too much because it is a chicken fetus. I'm sorry, y'all. I have some quirks, but but I do eat salt and pepper on a boiled egg if I do eat an egg.
Right. Okay. All breakfast food other than cereal, you put sugar in.
Yeah, it's a hot cereal, guys. It is a hot cereal.
You don't. Nah.
It is, and it's that's unnecessary, Gun Boss. That's not even what we're talking about. That's not even. He said, "What about when you're trying to sleep and your significant other is on IG and TikTok, laughing and listening to the phone loud?" Anyway,
that's annoying as well.
Have you ever experienced that?
Yes, I have.
I mean, sometimes if you see a meme that's hilarious, you're gonna have to chuckle.
Chuckle to yourself, man.
Chuckle to yourself. Yeah. So anyway, I'm telling you guys that have not tried it. Someone said they have tried it. I don't believe it. Try butter and sugar with grits and toast. It is delicious. Delicious. Now, not with fish. Don't do it with fish, but I'm just saying. Anyway, that was interesting how so many people, I think the biggest thing that you mentioned is like sleeping with the TV off or on, because there's so many people that really have a hard time with sleep. And I do dim the screen on my phone. The screen on my phone is dim all the time because I know the bright light. And I do eat cream of wheat, C-Dub. C-Dub, I do eat cream of wheat. Cream of wheat is a great breakfast cereal again. Have you ever had cream of wheat?
Hell yeah. Oh, no, we grew up on that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I like it. Don't do that, C-Dub. You've had it too. All right, I got another question for you guys that we wanted to talk about tonight before we get into all the drama. Um, this is Cheryl Lee Ralph and her husband. And in a recent interview, Cheryl Lee Ralph talked about why she and her husband do not live together. They do not live together. They've been married like I think almost 30 years. And it says 20-year marriage, nearly 20-year marriage. Cheryl Lee Ralph opened up about why she and her husband, Pennsylvania State Senator Vincent Hughes, have never lived together during their nearly 20-year marriage. She said she recently told people you fall in love with somebody and realize he's not leaving his career. He's not leaving Philadelphia, and I'm not leaving Hollywood. When you have children, it's very difficult. She revealed that they see each other every 2 weeks, and that has been the key to their lasting relationship. She said, when I go to see him, I love him. When it's time to leave, bye-bye, see you soon. I'm telling you, life is good. She also said that both of them are able to shine in their careers that way. So they don't ever feel, he's a senator, which is awesome. And then she's, obviously an iconic actress. So they both get a chance to be the star in their life story, but they see each other every 2 weeks. And I also want to point out Philadelphia and Hollywood are you could not get further apart in the country than that. You have to be out of the country to be further. So what do you think about that? Could you be married to somebody that you saw every 2 weeks?
Possibly. By this time, you would assume whatever BS they would have been on at this moment and at their age, and they're a lot older than me, would
been doing it for 20 years.
Right. So that's obviously not a concern. I guess I'm not going nowhere, she's not going nowhere type of attitude, and why not? We stay at each other's head. But that tells me they had experience the other way and they didn't find it to work. So they tried something new. And I mean, if it works for them, so be it. I'm not mad that would I try it. I would entertain it for a year and see how it went. I'll be open to entertain it for a year.
That's so strange because you said you would not date someone long distance.
Right, but that's permanent. Like they're living there and we're never going. But this is every 2 weeks. If I saw him every 2 weeks, that's a little something different. And they have jobs where, like they said, he's not going anywhere. What, Pennsylvania senator?
Yeah.
And she's in Hollywood, and there's no problem. I got a regular life. I got to go to work and all kind of other stuff. There's a little different. Their schedules are a little bit more flexible, I would assume. But I'm pretty sure this comes from living with someone
and not liking
it. In that part, like I saw something years ago on Inside Edition. There were a couple, and they lived next door to each other.
I've heard of that.
And they was like, she's like, when I get tired, I go to my house next door, or I send him next door to his house. And I thought that was cool. I mean, only thing that's separating it was a yard, but you get out my face, I ain't got to deal with you today. And I know you ain't too far. I'm mad at that.
Yeah, can I be honest?
Yes.
I would cheat.
Damn, you really being honest.
Well, I think because I would assume that he was cheating too. If my husband lived in, LA and I lived in Atlanta and we only saw each other every 2 weeks, I would definitely have somebody else that I spent time with because I was assuming he would. I know he would. Yes, Dr. Pepper from Maths does say she does not live with her husband, and they never have. She did mention that, which I thought was like, I don't know about her advice, but I just feel like anybody that extended, like it's one thing if you are working, like for a while, Gumboss worked, he drove trucks, and so he would be gone like maybe a week, but that wasn't like our forever. Our forever, we're doing this till a certain point, and then he's going to retire, and then we'll be together, right? So I could do it with like, okay, for the next 2 years, we're going to be but if it's like forever, I'm only seeing you every 2 weeks, I don't think I'm just saying for me, I don't think I would really take it. I wouldn't hold it as sacred because I guarantee you, most, I'm not saying her husband because I'm certain that he is a faithful man, but I would just assume that most men would have someone to hit them off every once in a while in that 2 weeks. Because I know guys that are honest about the fact that they said that, you know, I have to live with my woman because I don't want to be, whenever I need some attention, I need somebody that's right there. There are a lot of men that feel like that. So I cannot imagine a man being like, I'm gonna see you every 2 weeks and I'm gonna be faithful. I just don't think that would be possible forever. Like if it did, again, if it's like we got to do this for a year, 2, maximum 5. But this is just the way we're gonna live our life. I may be tired. I may not feel like traveling after that 2 week period. I'll hit you next month, and I'm gonna have somebody that I hang out with while you're away. I'm sorry.
So what about if that person was in the military?
Yeah, I don't think I would have probably been with someone that was in the military because every situation I've seen like that, the person was not faithful. So if you go on a tour and you're away for 15 months, you're gonna be having sex with someone else. And I just don't want to be here sitting at home writing you letters and I don't want to do it. I probably would not have done it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I like the time limit thing on it. If that was the case, I respect that.
I could be faithful for 2 weeks, but I'm just saying extend it. If we don't live, we're just pretty much, to me, and I'm just saying this is my outlook.
Yeah.
And I agree with PR Envy who says people who want to cheat will do it regardless. I'm saying I need to see my person more than once every 2 weeks. And that's such a huge distance. And then for her, what if she's shooting a movie and she doesn't get a chance to see him once every 2 weeks? I'm a little bit, I'm not a clingy person, but I'm a little bit more clingy than every 2 weeks. And you being so far away. Now, I do appreciate the fact I don't need someone to be up under me all the time. There are couples that work together, go to the grocery store together. I don't need that. That would drive me nuts. But I do need to see you more than once every 2 weeks. And I believe that I would not even trust that situation. So I would just automatically have one of my own.
So it's all about sex.
No, it's not. It's affection. Like I can't even snuggle in the bed.
No, him. You're saying with him.
Yeah, I don't want my husband sleeping with other people. And I also think I think we talk a lot about women getting lonely, and I think men do too. And I think most men want more comfort than just once every 2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, if you like her, but if I don't, then I would like her.
If I don't like her, then I shouldn't marry her.
Well, we didn't talk about marriage. We just talking about seeing somebody.
No, but that's what it was. They're married. Shirley Ralph and her husband have been married for 20 years. That's the way they've always done it. I think every couple has to find what works for them.
It's working.
It's working. No, it's absolutely working. I think everybody has to find and you also have to know you. Yeah. You have to know yourself. And I don't think that I would be okay with that. But I also, like I said, I know couples that do everything together all day long, every day. I can't do that either.
Let me tell you something. 2 weeks. What if he just went to some, like, in between those 2 weeks, he just went to a massage parlor
for a happy ending?
Why else would you go to a massage parlor?
For a massage? For a massage?
You go to a physical therapist for that. I'm saying a massage parlor with the tinted windows. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't think. See, I don't want that in a marriage. I don't want him to be going to get hit off. I keep saying that because I'm thinking of BBD in that song "Hit Me Off," but I don't. I'm sorry, guys. Today it's just a weird day. But no, I don't think I want that. But I appreciate the fact that she shared that because I think everybody should find a relationship that fits
for you, right?
Yeah. That's interesting. But so I saw someone mention the young lady on TikTok that I saw this. Someone sent it to me. The lady on TikTok that her boyfriend told her this. Now, okay, her boyfriend told her. She said she was falling on hard times. He did not offer for her to come and stay with him. She said, I'm really having a hard time. I haven't been able to find a job. I think I need to move in with you. And he said, whoa, I, I don't think so. Now, the rest of that story was crazy because he lived with a roommate. He lived with another guy. So it's not that he wants to live by himself. He just doesn't want to live with her. And then when she said, well, what am I going to do? I don't have any money for my bills. I'm going to be living in my car. He told her that builds character, and a lot of millionaires lived in their car.
Yeah.
He said that a lot of millionaires have lived in their car, and that she needed to just, grind it out. But this is the thing. And I know my opinion may not be a popular one. I think if a man does not ask you, first of all, he saw her struggling all this time, right? Because she didn't just end up at this point. She said she hadn't had a job for a while.
How do you know he's her struggling?
Well, first of all, the fact that she said, I'm going to have to move in with you. I have not been able to find a job. That lets us know that it had been a while.
Right? I mean, but she might have kept a lot of things to herself because she was embarrassed. She didn't want to say nothing until at the end, until like she really needed it.
I don't think so. The way she shared with TikTok leads me to believe that she has no problem sharing.
Okay.
So she had money at one point, and then she didn't. But this is the thing. I don't believe that she's a person that did not share. I think he saw her struggling. He did not offer. That meant he did not want her to live with him. They were together for less than a year, right? So I don't think that, and I think that's not her boyfriend. I think he don't see her as his wife.
Maybe he doesn't want it between him and his home. You see what I'm saying? To come into the homeboy.
Nah, because let me ask you this. Is there any friend that you have that if you told them your girl, the girl that you really were in love with, was about to be living in her car, that he would say, nah, she can't come stay with you for a couple of weeks?
If me and my homeboy, we had like roommate situation?
Yeah.
What time he go to work?
No. No. I'm asking you.
House alone. That's what I'm asking.
Do you have any friend? What if you and C-Dub were roommates?
Oh, hell no.
Would he be, if you said my girl that I'm really into, my girl is my girl is on hard times. She's about to be living in her car.
Right.
Would C-Dub, would any friend of yours be like, no, leave her out there. I don't feel comfortable with her living here? No.
No, they would.
I can't see any guy saying that. It's not because the roommate, he don't want her living there. This is the thing. I think a lot of women think
is she over there?
I think a lot of women think that a man is their boyfriend and he's not really their boyfriend.
That's true too.
Because if that's your boyfriend, he would have already had offered. He don't see you as, I don't even think he sees her as a girlfriend. Because I see a lot of girls get on social media and they'll be crying and they'll be sad about a guy that's, quote unquote, their boyfriend and what the guy is doing. I'm like, that's not boyfriend behavior.
That's true. But then you have some women that, what do they say? Well, if we do this one time, then we go together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying with that. But he didn't say that.
Exactly. My point.
He didn't say he was your boyfriend. You're his girlfriend. What's she say? Linda V said he's her boyfriend, but she's not his girlfriend. Exactly.
Be confirmed by both parties, not just the woman.
But she was crying, and so she said she was gonna break up with him. It's like he had already broke up with you when he told you to sit in the car. When he gave her advice that not even a good friend would give you.
Exactly. Let me
Good
think.
friend would be like, you could come stay with me for for a few weeks. I'll help you get on your feet, or maybe I could help you find some. But him saying, you know what? A lot of millionaires lived in their car at one time. That that was wild. I was like, that's not her boyfriend. That dude don't like her. She just sleeping with him on occasion. He don't like her.
Exactly. I know one thing. I was always told every woman is always sitting on $40.
What?
That's nothing. It's not important.
No, you said every woman is always sitting on $40.
Yeah, never mind. Anyway, but listen, here's my thing.
I need you to explain that. What? But I do agree. Women's version of broke and men's version of broke.
No. When men broke, they mean nothing. When women are broke, I don't got enough money to do my nails.
So what you're saying is that women are sitting on something that could get them at least $40.
Guaranteed. I thought we had moved on. You ain't supposed to say that.
No, because I have heard that what with the inflation and all, the price may have gone down.
Now that's been
Just saying. Depending on who you're dealing with. I don't know. I've heard I have guy friends that have said to me, you should not be broke. Women should, as a woman, you should never be broke.
It's kind of
it's certainly, but with women running around getting online and saying my boyfriend told me that millionaires live in their car.
That was
that's I'm saying the price may have been the supply being in influx and the demand being low. We may be at an impasse at this point.
But I hear this constantly. I've heard something on social media where the guy thought a radio station called the guy and was like, you went out with a date with this woman once and you never called her back and she wants to know why. And he was like, he didn't even think it was a date. Like there's always this, it seems like it's this confusion on what's happening.
It is. There's a lot of confusion.
From the women's
Karen, there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of confusion, but I think women are assuming, and that's why this is a good segue into our conversation that we're going to have in just a bit. We got to hear this dating dilemma first, or dating disaster first. But our conversation is what is the disconnect between men and women? Because there is a huge disconnect for some reason. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but a lot of times women, you see so many women talking about my man, my man, my man. There was a young lady that called Angela Yee. Did you guys see that? And said that she was with this married guy and she was excited because she's pregnant and this is going to give him the ammunition that he needs to leave his wife. I'm like, where are women? Women are just making up things and thinking, oh, I know I can get this man. I know, and we're not listening. We're not listening because that is not how you get a man to. You don't get a man to leave his wife. She said this is gonna make her leave. This is gonna be it. And then she said that he didn't have a job. We'll get into that another day. But let's hear this dating dilemma that or disaster that has been sent in. And then we'll get to the clips.
All right. So there was a woman who met a man on a dating site. I'm not sure what site it was.
Okay.
She might be here in the chat. She can say what site if she feels like staying out there. But they did the picture thing.
What is the picture thing?
Lifting weights. She's 6 foot. They was exchanging pictures.
Okay.
Showing out in the gym and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
She was cool. She was with it. She's new in the city. She went to go meet the guy, and I guess it was an outside setting. And she was walking up, and she saw a guy sitting there, and his feet dangling from the chair, which probably looked like a high chair. And
from a bench.
And the guy was a little person. We're not supposed to say the other word, even though I would normally say it, but it's not after 10 o'clock. You know what I'm talking about, right?
We do. Yes, we do. And little person will survive.
Here's the thing. She has a phobia of that. That and clowns. So she panicked and cussed him out. But he had sent pictures of, I forgot what she told me. She sent pictures of somebody else.
But, okay. I'm like, no way. There are certain physical attributes.
No, it was really him, but the way the angles were, you know, maybe like this.
Mo.
Huh?
No. Not like this. No. Because I'm trying to be very, very sensitive. Let's be very sensitive with this situation. There are certain physical attributes and proportions that are very different with a little person and an average sized person. There's no way that pictures would not show.
It's one of those. They're like one chromosome away from. It was short, but you know how you see the people like they were short. They were really a little person, but not extremely little person. Like maybe he
was just a short guy.
What? That's what I said. If you're in the chat,
she's gonna have to share with us because we're just now. I do agree. Shonda said it could be Photoshop. Maybe he used Photoshop, but I don't think.
She said she seen the top of his head, and she had a phobia and cussed him out of the situation. She had that and clowns, and she couldn't believe it.
I think that Druzy is right. He was super short, but not a little person. A little person it's a different look than just a very short.
But I know it's different sizes of the little people. They're not all real little. You know what I'm saying? Like one chromosome away from being a tiny person.
That's just a short person then.
But yeah, man. So I guess that's a dating. I don't know if it's because they didn't even go
out.
Yeah, because she has a phobia. She told.
But I would think so. When I think phobia, I think that when you said that she had a phobia of them and clowns, I thought she was gonna run.
No, when she I wish hopefully she'll jump in here. But here's the thing: she was small. They went to the Ringling Brothers circus.
Wait a minute.
You know, they have the small clowns and stuff like that. And so she scared and urinated on herself as a kid, and ever since then she's afraid of them. A lot of people have phobias of clowns and little people, and she's one of them. She couldn't believe it. I hope she jumps in, but yeah, that's her. She didn't even make it to the date.
I need clarity because I afraid and cursing a person out don't usually go together.
I'm afraid. Hey, we'll see.
Because if you're afraid of clowns, then you run from the clown. You don't lean in and curse them out.
I don't think she leaned in. She said, I don't even think she got all the way up on him. She got closer to. She saw the feet dangling, the legs dangling from the thing, and was like, "I know you lying." You know how y'all be saying that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes. I don't really know what to say about that. That is wild. But I did tell you that time that I went on that date, and that guy, I think he was like he had very short arms and very short legs. He did, and I think that he might, but I just didn't want him to touch me. But not because I wasn't mean to him until he was like, I bet you, you ain't even trying to do, he was being hateful. And then I was like, I still didn't bring up the fact that, what the obvious issue was, but he sat next to me. That's Shonda. So it was a first date. I met him in the car. He was in the car. I didn't see that he had short arms. I didn't. But when I got to the date, he walked in later, and he was short. He had a long torso, very short arm, but I don't think he was technically a little person. I think he was just very short and kind of disproportionate. So
maybe that's what it was.
yeah, but he did have very short arms and very small hands. So I don't want to sit next to anybody on a date. I like to sit across. This man came and sat next to me, and I could look at those.
Because you know that, right? He
What?
didn't know how to.
I'm saying it was bad. Then it was bad. So I do understand, but I was gonna just go ahead and push through the date and leave, but he had a nasty attitude on top of being a tiny person. So I left. I left immediately.
I'll be feeling bad for them.
I am short, but I wasn't that short. I am short, but he was shorter. I am short, but he was shorter. I'm 5'2", and he was something else. He was not 5 feet, but and again, I was gonna go through the date, but he had an attitude. No, not doing that.
God.
No. But I mean, I hate that. I don't. The problem with the dating disaster that we have tonight is either he had to have photoshopped those pictures, which that seems like, I don't know very many. Well, let me not say that. Men may be photoshopping their pictures now. Men may be photoshopping because it's just there's no angle that you shut up, C-Dub. He said short-tempered. You are an idiot. I don't see any way that he could. Oh, he photoshopped them. Wow. Woo.
She got on here?
Is Shonda Fernandez the person?
No, I don't think so.
Well, no. She said he photoshopped. He had to Photoshop it because there's no angle that you could not tell little arms and legs that would swing. Oh, I'm serious. I'm not being hateful. That's real.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I feel bad. Sunny Rain says short men are starting to get leg lengthening surgeries. I feel bad for short men. And when I say short men, I'm talking about men under 5 feet, like tiny men, like under 5'5".
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of women that want to date a taller man. But I think that a lot of times, if a man, like you look at Kevin Hart or Cat Williams, and I know that they're wealthy, but both of them are funny. And I think that if you can make people laugh, everybody has to work with, you got to deal the hand you were dealt. You got to play with the hand you were dealt.
She says she's in the room, the chat. She just texted me and said she's in there.
Okay. Well, maybe, I mean, so ask her, did he,
She can hear you.
But I'm saying, is it Shonda Fernandez?
He did. It might be. I don't know if she's under a different name. That's not the name I know about.
Oh Lord, what is going on? What is going on with you?
Nothing.
Sunny Rain says, are there enough shorty short small ladies for them? And the answer is no, because short women still like taller men.
And they
said he made Kevin Hart look like a 6-foot man. That, ma'am, you know what? Okay, and I'm not trying to be mean with this question, but I do need to know: did he have a large head? Was his head larger than normal?
Yeah, was he one of them kind of?
Because that will tell us if the head, not really. Okay, so maybe he was just a short person.
I'm telling you, if you do the picture like this, all you see is head and shoulders, you might think he's big.
No.
Because that's what women do. I noticed that certain women with a certain size, they like on this. I know this angle. They like on that angle.
But, okay, I'm assuming that you're saying women that are of a bigger size do that angle. So that angle would not make someone look bigger. It obviously makes people look smaller.
No, but it has no bearing on height, though. You can't tell height when you do that.
You can. I don't think he looked as if someone shrunk a normal man. Ah, that's unfortunate. So at the point that I need to know, when you cursed him out, Shonda, when you cursed him out, were you close to him? Why did you curse him out? Because that be like, that probably really hurt him. Like he's probably going to take that out on some woman after you. What did you say to him?
What woman, Christal? Nobody wants him.
Hey, don't say that. There's always someone for everybody.
You said that.
No, I said a lot of women don't like, but there's always someone for everybody. He was aware of the phobia? Okay, well stop it, C-Dub.
Oh, you know what? He did say that. She had told him before that. That is right. My bad. I missed that part.
He was really into her. She's a beautiful woman. He was really into her. That's messed up. Jesus Christ. But that, I do think that's something that you should tell people ahead of time. I don't like when people lie about stuff. I don't think women should lie about age. You shouldn't lie about weight. Men shouldn't lie about height or other numbers and statistics.
Good.
You should not lie about any numbers that pertain to yourself. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, you know what I'm not going to do that.
I don't know who goes around giving that type of number.
Oh, men do. Men lie.
How does that even come up before you meet? Anyway, go ahead.
No, when you're on a dating app and you're talking, people,
People put other numbers on there?
Well, they definitely embellish their ability and their machinery.
Well, I have
hardware. They embellish the size of hardware.
Did you know studs be wearing hardware in sweatpants?
You are obsessed with studs. How about that?
They are funny to me.
You have a slight obsession, and we know that you have come close to being in close proximity with your menage with studs. So that is one of your probably fetish.
That we're not gonna put that story out.
I'm saying you were the one that had the stud of trois. Anyway, let's move on to our issue for tonight. Is why do women have an issue believing what men say? And are women trying to look attractive to impress other women? Are women trying to impress other women? Now, before we get into tonight's videos, I want to show this picture of Nelly Furtado. You guys remember Nelly Furtado? She was a pretty popular artist a few years ago. Maybe a decade ago, actually.
12 years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, 12 years ago. But I'm saying people remember she looked a lot different, but now she that's what she looks like now. She posted that picture. And I want to read what she said because I think this kind of fits into our conversation for tonight. Now, when you look at this, when I saw this picture, the first thing you think is this is different than a lot of pop stars, would feel comfortable posting. And probably a lot of her peers would not post that picture. Nelly Furtado said, have a body neutral 2025. But most importantly, love with every inch of your heart yourself. Thank you for all the memories this year. This year, I became aware of the aesthetic pressure of my work in a brand new way, while simultaneously I experienced new levels of self-love and genuine confidence from within. For whoever cares, I have never had any face or body surgeries or augmentation besides veneers on the top row of my teeth quite recently. So far, I have not had any face or lip injections or fillers of any kind, but I do have a loving old school facialist who I purchased serums and creams from, and I started that when I was 20. Sometime on the red carpet or at photo shoots, my makeup artist used face tape to give my eyes, skin, and makeup more lift. And sometimes my stylist uses body tape to give a certain look different to silhouettes. Body makeup can also sometimes be contoured to create a certain look. Makeup can do magical things, so can great eyebrows. So can a great hairstylist. So can great undergarments. These photos, I have no makeup and there is no editing or filters on these photos, but I do have a spray tan. I have spider veins and they remind me of my mom and aunties and life. So I think that's why I haven't parted with them so far. My New Year's message for 2025 is to express yourself freely, celebrate your individuality, and know that it's perfectly okay to be okay with what you see in the mirror. And it's also okay to want something different. We are all cute little humans just bouncing around the earth looking for hugs. I love that. I thought that was adorable. But looking at this picture, the first thing I will admit, the first thing I thought was, wow, that doesn't look like what she used to look like. And I also think that um, it is expected. I remember there were people talking about it's expected for celebrities to get augmentation. I've even heard people say, oh, she should get a breast job, or this person should get their butt done, or this person should get liposuction. And I think that's crazy that we would look at someone and say that they need to get surgery on their body in order for them to show their body. That's crazy. And yet it happens. And I think it's a majority. A lot of people do feel that way, specifically about celebrities. I remember when Alicia Keys stopped wearing makeup. A lot of the celebrities that I was working with at the time thought she was crazy and just were very, very anti what she was trying to do. Nelly Furtado is 46 years old. And so, again, to me, this looks good and this also looks very natural for a 46-year-old woman. I think the problem is we are at this point so used to seeing people that look different and that have been augmented, and that has become normalized. And the issue that we're going to talk about tonight is that a lot of times women are doing it to be more attractive, and maybe men are not even, maybe it's not even at this point for men. Now let me ask you, Mo, looking at that picture, what is your thoughts on seeing that picture of Nelly Furtado?
I think she looked better that way.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
So part of the reason is that's what I'm normally used to seeing.
Right.
Like to me, that's a regular black girl built.
Yeah.
That's not like
girl, but yeah, she is. She's an ally. She's one
maybe in the pop culture that might be a thing, but I mean, what's the difference between her body and Megan Thee Stallion? What's the difference between her body? That's a grown woman's body.
Well, I don't think. See, I do want to say now, Megan Thee Stallion does not look like that. Megan Thee Stallion is.
She got work done, and she's going to look like that and more. What I'm saying is that's more natural. Like right. That's more of what a guy is normally used to seeing in real life. Not what he's pointing out in a magazine or on an Instagram post to his friends. That's just what we talk about and brag about and fantasize. Not fantasize to have, just to fantasize and talk about and keep it moving. But nobody's set on that and going to leave their wife for that and do that. That's just talk. But that's what most of the guys would really deal with. That's what most of them are used to seeing.
Yeah.
I think
I agree, and I think that's why I want to talk about it, because I think women, especially Instagram, like it's one thing to say in magazines because not everybody is in a magazine, right? Not everybody is in a magazine spread. So when you see supermodels in a magazine spread or women in movies, that's a very small percentage. However, now everybody is on Instagram and everybody has Photoshop and photo editor on their phones and on their computers. So everybody is able to attempt to look like that. I remember when I first started working in entertainment and I saw how photographers, one of my good friends, Sean Dowdell, showed me how he could take a picture of a woman and augment it. And I remember thinking like, whoa, that's crazy, because I used to look at the pictures and I didn't realize, I knew there was photoshopping, but I didn't realize that they could actually shape your body, bring in your stomach, bring out your chest, bring down, round your shoulders out so you don't look so broad. There's so many things that they could do in magazines that when you look at it as a consumer, you don't realize. So I want to play these. I want to play this first clip, and then let's talk. This gentleman is on the podcast, and he is extremely irritated with what he sees as women being very hypocritical.
I have no clue of what men want because y'all run around with lashes,
You know I only
fake
ask
hair,
how you like
all
to be
this
treated,
bullshit, right? And you can ask 100 men and 98 of them will say, I want a natural woman.
All right, so he said he said that out of all these different men and women doing all this fake hair, lashes, all the fake stuff, men do not want that. Men want a natural woman. Now, you're gonna have to speak up for the men, Mo, because I would say that sounds good, but I just don't. It's hard for women to believe that because men are always looking at liking things that are not that.
Well, the first thing is if there's 10 women that have that, we're picking the best out of the 10. But it doesn't mean that we want, you see what I'm saying? We will pick that over the real thing. That's what you're looking at. We're looking at it and saying that's nice. What he's saying is we'll pick it over it. It's not to say that isn't nice looking at times. What we're saying is, but if I had the choice of the same beauty but natural, I will take the natural. It's nothing worse than he's going to get to it when you get to the longer clip, but that's what it is. So if you see us pointing at the 5 women and we're picking the one, it just looks the best out of what's there. It doesn't mean that the only thing we want or we choose that over everything. That's not true. That's keeping it real. Somebody says
men are drooling over the non-natural, and I agree with that because I want to ask you this: if you have 5 Black women, right, and one of them is biracial, so you have 5 Black women, you have one of them is biracial. That biracial woman has naturally long, wavy hair and a lighter skin tone. If Black men will look at that woman and say, "Oh, she's natural and she's beautiful because she has naturally long hair." Not everybody has naturally long, wavy hair. That's not so. When the other girl goes and sews it in, is that her? Is it wrong for her to do that because she's trying to emulate what she has told is beautiful? That's the problem that we're not acknowledging. Like, yes, Alicia Keys is beautiful, but would people have responded to Viola Davis going natural the way they would Alicia Keys? I don't think so.
I mean, pretty is pretty is pretty. Now, if you had a white guy, if you sat there and you put up the white men, and then you say, well, with this Black guy whose hair is kinky, his skin is dark, ashy at times, and then that Black guy says, you know what, I'm gonna get some white man hair and I'm gonna get some blue eyes. Y'all would look at him crazy. But you're gonna turn around and go get the white girl aesthetics and put it on and think that we're going to say, oh, now you're beautiful. No, that might be beautiful. That might be the white version of what they think is beauty, but we don't want that in you. We want the beauty in you. But some women go get the beauty in a whole nother race. No, stick to your beauty. And I think they make it the skin color and the skin tone. There could be all kinds of pretty women, but the fact that their version of pretty is to go look like another pretty woman in another race is kind of sad. If I went and got white man hair, y'all would laugh at me.
But that's because what the example I just gave you is if there are 5 Black women and one woman is biracial, that's the hair that the women are trying to achieve. And that is also what we hear a lot of men say. We had some men on our show not long ago, and they were all talking, I like women with natural hair, but natural hair is one thing to say, I want it to be natural, but I also want it to be long and straight. That's not the same. And women have never, been looking for, well, let's not say that, because there was definitely the Albie Shore and the Timac, time period, but that's not necessarily what women consider attractive. Women consider, strong, tall, dark, and handsome attractive. And I think men usually are attracted to certain things. So the lashes, as far as the hair is concerned, and sometimes the skin color, but I'm not talking. But we talk about the lashes and the looks, that and the body augmentation. That's a little bit different. Let's listen to the second part of this clip. A lot of the ladies on our chat don't like this guy. They say he's combative, but I think that he's frustrated because he's trying to prove a point. And I feel like men a lot of times are very frustrated because they don't feel like they're heard.
But for some reason, y'all in competition with each other. Y'all think that natural beauty is ugly. Y'all done got away from being feminine. Y'all not even confident. I FaceTime a woman in the morning, she got her shit to the ceiling because she don't want to let me see her with her natural face. You that embarrassed of yourself?
I experienced that. I've talked about that on the show. I've seen women do that and was like, well, I gotta, or and a part of me feels sad. And it's like, dad, she's like, you're afraid to show you? Like that's a little, I don't know, that hits me every time I see situations like that. I don't want you to see, you don't want me to see the real you. And it's confusing. What up? It's confusing to me. Like seeing the real, and they gotta hold up, let me go put on another thing, and I don't know. And I know my brother when he said that. I felt
that. What do you think about that? He gets mad at me when I do that, when he tries to FaceTime me or something.
I think I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think and a lot of my friends say this too. And
they can't see you.
A lot of my friends say this too, and I hear it from men all the time. A man would think that a woman is more sexy in jogging pants and a hat on than a woman that's all made up,
right?
Because that's her natural, that's her natural beauty. If you're naturally beautiful, you can catch more flies with honey.
But what if you're not naturally beautiful? What if you need some help?
Like you said earlier, there's always somebody for somebody.
I think that.
I mean, I'm just saying though. I mean, the point of it is that God made you a certain image. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't accept that image, there's something wrong. There is something physically wrong. There's nothing wrong with a little enhancements or whatever, just a little blush or whatever y'all freaking lip. I don't know that stuff. But all that stuff that's caked on, and then all of a sudden, if you see a woman, then she got makeup all over her clothes and stuff like that. That's just too much. That's too much.
Why did you get upset? Because I know that he loves me regardless of what I look like. But I do not like, if I feel like I just woke up in the morning, I don't like to FaceTime.
It's not for you, it's for me. It's for me to look at my wife in the morning time. If I didn't wake up, like if I have to go to work early or something like that, and I FaceTime you, I left the house when you were asleep. So if I call you later on in the day, and I know that you're just not getting up, I want to see my beautiful wife. I want to see her bright eyes and bushy tail.
Well, I'll be looking rough sometimes.
But that's okay. But that's okay though.
But you see how you said that? You were rough, and then other women point out, but it's never the men. I mean, he pointed out if she's not attractive regardless, but this is a man. And he's saying it, and every time, whether it's the man that we showed the clip or your husband, it's always but. Once you say a but, I know you're not really listening. He's telling you.
Let's see. Hey, Tammy. I love Adrian. I think that's why we're trying to get to the bottom of this, because I don't feel like women are are doing this for other women, I think that a lot of times we don't understand what you guys see.
Okay.
And I think women are trying to be attractive for.
So this right here is gonna cut it off. And this statement right here is gonna cut. I'm just gonna
cut it off, baby.
Cut it off.
You cut it off. What's up, Tammy?
And clear it all up.
Okay.
The first, if back in my days, right? If you went to a strip club, the strippers were the only one that was getting their body done.
Right.
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 That's a fact. Am I right? Right or wrong with that, Mo?
That's a fact.
Okay. So now women are like, why y'all always be going to the strip club?
Yes.
Right?
Spending our good money.
Hold on. It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy, right? But now, at first, the strippers was the only one that knew where to go get this stuff done in Dominican Republic or whatever. And then here in the States, it was too expensive. But all you got now is like a doll baby factory. You just punch them out, clink, clink, next, clink, clink. They all look the same. And everybody thinks that if you got a nice butt or a nice shape or whatever like that, and you show some pictures on Instagram or TikTok or whatever like that, you think that all these people are going to like you. No, they looking at you because you're the dummy doing the same thing as everybody else is doing.
But you guys were going to the strip club. What if the wife wants
and we left that there?
Wait a minute. But the girlfriend wants to be the fantasy. She also wants to be. You want to be the person that he's very attracted to as well.
No, but the thing
won. He's going home to you. You won.
Exactly. You are one. That is something that I know in the back of my head. If I go to a strip club, in the back of my head, I know that I can't go home without one.
Linda said, and they get all. Hold on. Linda said, and they get all the attention and the ballers and the celebrities.
That's my point.
But regular women want that. Regular women want that.
No, though. Regular women don't want.
Yes, they do.
Right, so hold on. So the people in the chat, right? People in the chat, give me a one if you would like for a man to make over $150,000.
Everybody would give you a one.
Hold on. I just want to see where we at. If you want a man that makes over $150,000, give me a one.
Tammy, you should come on. I'm
about to.
You want me to sing you the thing? You could come on.
All right, so we got Meryl. So we got how many ones we got?
A bunch of ones. One. Angie, okay. Joda, Tina, everybody saying one.
All right. Sonny Ray said
1,000. one times two. See, everybody wants one.
All right, now, how many of you would date a man that's making $65,000 a year?
What is the point in this, Adrian? Where are you?
It's a catch too.
Come on with it.
It's a catch too.
She said no thanks.
Okay, now that man that has $150,000 in his account, right? He buys you this, he buys you that, and whatever, right? Now that dude that making that $65,000 a year, right? He's whining you. He's dining you. He's taking you out to parks late in the evening to have the sunset watch. You and him can watch the sunset. Walking trails, stuff that
broke nigga shit.
Come on, man.
That the $150,000 man can't do, right?
Yes, he can.
Or if he's making over, I'm using this as an analogy now. 150K would take you out to dinner. A 65,000 man, he's gonna take you out to build.
Maybe not. No, I don't agree with that. Tammy, welcome, Tammy. Welcome, Tammy. Meet Mo.
Hello, hey, Mo.
So, Tammy, what do you have to say?
Yeah, building and stacking together. That's what I'm talking about. See?
But that didn't make it.
It made perfect sense.
No.
So when I first met my husband, he didn't make $50,000 when I first met him.
Tell,
When I
so
first
tell
when I
people
first met him,
you're married, Tammy, so they know what this is.
See, she got my point.
what'd you say?
Tell people how long you've been married.
Ooh, 28 years.
Okay, give her a hand clap.
28 years. And when we first got together, he worked at a company that didn't value him. But he also didn't know his value.
Okay.
And so when I met him, I was like, okay, I'm gonna work with this. I'm gonna work with this because he had a great heart. Because it's hard to find a person with a good heart.
That's true.
However, where the money came, once he got confidence in himself, it just grew and grew and grew. And I think that when you're in a relationship, you got to see the potential.
Yeah.
It's just like when you get in a business. When you get in a business and you start it off, it's not anywhere. But if you don't see the potential for that business and you don't put in the effort, then the business won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But if you see the potential, you put in the effort and you'll see it grow. Because now where he is, I mean, he's well over 6. That's why when you said 150, I said I need more.
Yeah. But Tammy, why do you think so? Because the initial conversation is about, why do women not feel comfortable being themselves with men? And I don't think that we are trying to impress each other. I really think that women don't feel good about themselves if they are not if they don't have makeup on, if they don't have all these things.
But I think that's something within the woman that she's got to figure out why she feels that way. What I had to figure out. So you see, my hair is cut. I had to cut my hair because I had a bald spot in the crown, and at first I was like, ugh, and I felt insecure. Okay. Other people who saw my hair, they were like, "Oh man, we love your hair," but I felt that way, and so I had to be comfortable in the skin I'm in. And I think that for women, you have to be comfortable in the skin you're in. And if there's something that you don't like, don't complain about it, fix it. Because what we do is we do a whole bunch of complaining, but not enough changing. Okay. And you got to change for yourself and not change for somebody else.
Preach.
I think that's true, but I think that after a certain point, you just got to make peace with yourself. So I think no matter what, no matter what I do, I definitely, need to work out and eat correctly. But no matter what, I'm never going to be a skinny person, right? That's just not my build. And so I have to make sure that I'm okay with myself. If I constantly am comparing myself to a friend of mine that's very naturally thin, I'm not going to be that. I'm always going to be a thicker, curvier person. That's just, and I think that's hard sometimes for people to do because we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people.
But that's where that's where the person themselves have got to stop, because I think it comes from back in the day. We had to be, let's just call a spade and be real about it. We had to be the skinny white girl with the straight hair. We weren't white, but we were perming our hair. We were doing all this and we were doing all that to try to compete and stay with them, because that's what we were taught growing up was pretty. Well, that's all out the window, because we all going natural now. We wearing locks, we wearing braids, we shaving our hair bald. You just got to feel comfortable about who you are and not worry about anybody else. Because me, I don't care about what nobody say. As long as my husband like it, it's good. The reason why I said I love Adrian is because Adrian said, when I call you, I don't care if you just getting up in the morning, rolling out of bed. I want to see your pretty eyes and your tail. I love that because he's just saying it don't matter what he loves you. Right. He loves you. And if you roll up and you roll without no makeup, he don't care. And not everybody wants a skinny girl. My husband ain't got no skinny girl. I am thick in areas and he liked the thickness.
He don't like skinny either. Hold on, let's watch this other clip, and then Tammy and Adrian and Ma want everybody to chime in. This guy, he's having some. He is very frustrated because I think, like I said, I feel like he feels women are not hearing what men have to say.
That's what it is. You're not happy with yourself. It ain't got nothing to do with us. Who are y'all selling yourselves to, the women or the men? Because we the ones that got to marry your ass.
I could care less.
So how about doing what I like? The things that we want are free.
I promise.
They are free. But for some reason, when you ask a woman, what do you bring to the table? The first thing come out their mouth is something we don't care about, which is your job. Your job. The first thing a woman say, I pay my own bills, I got my own car, I got my own crib.
But
congratulations.
Congratulations, you're an adult. That's what he want to say.
He said, congratulations, you're an adult. But I think that somehow we've gotten it confused to where women feel like, and I'll admit, in Atlanta, it can feel this way. You have to look a certain way. You have to have a lot of money. You have to be a professional woman. You have to be getting to the bag and all of these things. And I don't think men are necessarily saying that that's what they want. It appears that they don't want any of that. They don't care about the money. They don't care about the job. They don't care about the lashes or the weave. What are we doing? And why is there such a huge disconnect? Mo, let me start with you and then we'll go to Tammy.
I think the guys who put the emphasis on those things, those are the guys you need to be worried about. And they're not looking at there, and we're constantly saying it, and that's what his frustration is. It's like we're sitting up there, we're hearing the women say, you know, whether, and obviously it's not all brothers, but there's guys that are the social media is full of it. So the guys, whether it's the gym, whether it's the type of cars, you know, we're listening, but it doesn't seem like the other one, they're telling us, no, it's this. And then when we're like, the things that they point out, we're like, well, we're not even paying attention to that. Mm-hmm. But other women are. I don't think it's for other women, but it's the approval, because I've seen women pick women apart. As soon as they come in through the door, they're picking her apart. And there's half the stuff that they're picking apart I don't even care about. Look at her shoes. I ain't looking at her shoes. I'm looking at other stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Tammy, what do you think? What do you think about that?
I think women are from Mars and men are from Venus. I think the reason why women talk about the job they have, the money they have, especially the ones in Atlanta, the ones that I've seen, is because they're pissing on their territory to me. They want to show, oh, I got it going on. You know, I got the job, because in essence, they want a man who's got it going on. Because a lot of women like that, they want if I'm making money, he need to match my money. Or if I got this car, he need to match my car. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that they get puffed up and prideful in that way, instead of a man. Sometimes he's looking for a heart. Listen, they always said the way you get a good man back in the day, it was a good meal. You feed that man, you take care of that man, you wait on that man, and then that's how you get that man. Not by the car you drive and the job you have.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
They'll tell you, you said food. The first thing they'll tell you is they don't cook. Everything we like, they'll tell us they don't do.
All right, so I got a thing for everyone on here. Let's try a 3-day challenge. A 3-day challenge. No lashes, no makeup. Wake up, comb your hair. That's it. And I guarantee you, as a woman, you'll get hit on more if at the gas station or something. If you're
careful with the gas station, guys.
Natural.
But I'm gonna add this one more thing to that, Adrian, and release all negative thoughts.
That part. Yeah. Yes.
Release all negative thoughts.
Yeah. Do for 3 days. 3 days.
Yep. Start with 3 days and then keep increasing it, and watch the amount of interest you get, because you have a better attitude and you're just you. Men just like to see they what you see is what you get. They like to see what they get.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nobody wants to be surprised the next morning. Trust me.
Nope. Nope.
But I will say that be careful with the guys that you pick up at gas station because that could be some trouble. But I think that it's interesting to me though that I think what you said, Tammy, is true because men are saying, well, women are trying to do this to impress other women. But I think that women are doing it saying what they want in a man. I
Mhm.
think women are trying to assume because we do live in a patriarchal society where men are basically, have the advantage over women. So I think women are trying to be more like men in order to be successful. So it's like, okay, I want a partner that has these qualities. And so I'm going to become what I want. But a partner is not supposed to have the same things that you do. I had a partner, a friend of mine, and I were trying to partner with a PR company. And the reason that we could not partner is because both of us had the same strengths. And we needed to use people has different strengths than you and has different weaknesses than you do. If you guys have the same strengths and the same weaknesses, that's not a good partnership because you're not going to be able to compliment and push that person forward. Yeah, let the gas station man pay for your gas. I shouldn't even have done that. I told y'all about my bad situation, but I do think that when it comes to wanting a partner, there also is a saying that says be what you want to find. And I think a lot of negative messaging has gone out making women feel like they had to compete with men in order to get a man, and that's not true. That's not true. But I think you can be successful for yourself. But Mo and Adrian, I do think that someone asked earlier, like if women, the question about what do people bring to the table, men are asked that as well. And most men are providers.
I am the table.
No, you gotta go, Adrian.
No, I am the table.
What are you talking about?
What do you bring to the table? I am the table.
No.
That's what I bring to the table.
He's saying he enough. He's saying he enough.
I'm enough. That's exactly.
He's saying he enough.
No, but then no.
What do you bring it to the table? You bring it.
Shut up, Adrian. Shut up. He's being silly, but seriously, I think everybody has to bring different things to the relationship. Everybody can't. Now, there are some men that are looking for a provider. But if you want a man that's looking for a provider, then you probably are going to find one that's using you for what you have and not actually willing to provide for you. If you're acting like a provider, a man is not going to be inspired to provide for you. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Mo?
Sort of.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
I think that women can be looking for a provider too, and it goes both ways. But I think the thing is that making assumptions of people and not having a vision for somebody. Like sometimes people see somebody and they be like, "Oh, well, he just working at this job," but you don't know that he's working at that job because he's going to school at night to get a better education, to get a better job. But you're just looking at the foresight. That women sometimes look at the foresight and they tear a man down. And I think if they would build a man up, because like I said, my husband, when George started working at the job he was working at, he's making $30,000. Now in my head, I said, what the what? I'm like, what are these people doing? I mean, because he's super smart. But when I got with him, I was like, okay, I said, can we do your resume? He's like, sure. So I went over there to his house. I helped him do his resume. And I sent it to my girlfriend. She got him a job. He doubled his salary. Then he doubled that salary. And then it just kept going. But I helped. He was young when we first met. And so, they were getting over on him because he was young. He just came out of school and you don't know any better. And so and people have to have a vision for people. And then just being honest and, and in the relationship, just being honest.
So Tammy, your situation is a little different because you guys got together when you were younger. What advice would you give to a woman in her 40s? Because you don't want to be with a man in his 40s that it's okay if he needs some help, but I think your life shows what you've been doing over if you're 40 years old, then we're able to see what you've been doing for the last 20 years by, the fruits of what you have. So what advice would you give to a woman in her 40s? Would it be different or would it be the same as when you got with your husband, in your 20s?
Oh, I wouldn't lower my standards. I wouldn't lower my standards for anybody, because you also got to have standards.
Yeah.
And you gotta, when you're getting with somebody, when I say bring something to the table, I'm looking at everything when I'm talking about bringing something to the table. At 40, you should have a job unless you just got laid off or something like that. But you should have, and you got to decide what you want. Like some people, they don't care. They can go out. If the guy is a farmer and that's what he does and he loves his job, that person might say, I love him because of how he is. You got to figure out what it is that you want. And you got to figure out if this person is meeting the need that you have in that area. And if they're not, don't just, because I feel like a lot of women will stay in a relationship because they feel like they need somebody. They just want a body. You can't have somebody in that place as a placeholder. They have to be, you have to be going somewhere in that relationship. If you're not going nowhere, then leave the relationship. Ain't no sense. You 40 years old. You ain't got time to keep trying.
The girl whose dude told her that he could not help her and that she needed to live in her car, but a lot of millionaires live in the car. That's not your boyfriend. Like that man, if relationship wasn't going anywhere. So good for her to get out of it.
Where's Derica at? Derica she asked me earlier today, she's like, would you let Christal sleep in the car if you told me that? Nah, Derica. We living in the car together, baby girl. We living in the car together.
Adrian,
living in the car.
Go, Adrian. He's not taking it seriously.
I am too.
Why are you moving in the car with me if you have a house?
Because I love you.
Get out, Adrian. Get out. You're out.
So he had a house, and he would let her live in a car.
He had a roommate.
But she was she lost her job and she was struggling. And she said, I think I'm going to have to move in with you. And then he said, no, you cannot move in with me. I'm sorry. And then she said, well, a lot, she said, I'm going to have to move in my car. And then he said, well, a lot of millionaires at one point in their time lived in their car.
Okay. Yeah. With that. Yeah. He's a no. But what made her assume that she could just ask him? Why didn't she ask a friend first?
Well, it sounded like she didn't have anybody else to ask. And that's a problem in itself. It just sounded like to me, and I feel like she's a share because a lot of these people feel entitled. Nobody has to do anything for you. No one owes you anything. So that's not your man. Obviously, he knows that. But the fact that you feel entitled when he obviously hasn't showed you anything else that should make you feel like he's trying to have a future with you, figure it out. Like I've had to figure things out. Tammy, when I met you, I was figuring it out. And I didn't expect anybody else to rescue me. So I don't really have a lot of empathy for women that feel like they should be rescued just because that wasn't the way I looked at things. You know what I mean? I feel like I can rescue myself.
But to her thing, like if you're sleeping with somebody, I don't see why you should. And it don't hurt to ask. You are sleeping with them.
She didn't ask though. She didn't ask. No, it's all in how you do it. She didn't ask. She assumed. I'm gonna have to move in with you. She assumed. If she would have asked, maybe if she would have shown some humility, the answer on the other end would have been different. And the fact that she didn't have no other friends, it's a telltale.
That is a red.
It's a telltale.
Maybe she was going to trips with her friends to Mexico and other places, and he told her to stack her money, and now she ran out. She wanted to come.
We don't know, but what I do know is that she didn't need to be spending time talking on TikTok. She need to be trying to figure it out. Like the fact that you're sharing this on TikTok, you don't need to be doing that. Not unless you're going viral and making money like that. You need to focus on money, making money, and get off. Probably trying to find another man that would give her some money or give her some place to stay.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask the crew this. How about the shoes on the other foot?
And
the dude was like the same thing.
So if the man lost his job and he said he wanted, now let's be honest, there are a lot of women that be out here saving broke men
all the time.
All the
time.
not saying that they are
all the time.
but I'm talking about within this realm.
So
right
would ladies in the chat, would you allow a boyfriend to move in with you if you guys have been together for 11 months and he lost his job?
Yeah.
Sunny Rain said, nah, he wouldn't be moving in with me. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, they would. And know how
I would let somebody, now they wouldn't even have to be my boyfriend. It was somebody who was struggling and they got put out. Me and my husband, we'll let so many people live with us since we've been married. We like, yeah, we got a basement.
Well, what about when you were dating, before you were married? If you were dating, would you have allowed a boyfriend that you have been with for 11 months to move in with you?
I would if he was struggling. You ain't sleeping with me, but you can move into the house.
I think, I'm trying to think, I would, because I know if we have been together for 11 months, I know I'm smart enough not to be with somebody that is not genuine. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Of course, you don't know everything because people can't surprise you. But I would do this though. I would say there is a limit. You know, there have to be some stipulations put into place. So you can stay with me for 30 days till you can find a job. I'll help if you care about a person. And I would do that for a man or a woman, a girlfriend of mine. If she needed something to say, I probably would give the girlfriend a little bit more flexibility than a guy. But I would definitely do it if I had been in a relationship with that person and it was reciprocated. Now, the problem with that girl is I don't think there are a lot of women that are thinking that they're in a relationship and they're really not. But if I was, I would allow them to stay with me. But I would be serious about the deadlines and what needed to be done during that time.
Christal will be leaving job applications on the counter.
And would. Of course. I mean, hey, I'm not trying to sponsor. No, I'm not nobody's sponsor or nobody's sugar mama. You know what I mean? I would definitely leave. Be like, hey, have you checked with the local UPS? Like you got to be careful because sometimes let's also realize that Tammy made that decision with her husband because she knew that he was someone that had a good heart. There are a lot of times men will use you and then they really have no intentions of being with you. So I'm not anybody's, stepping stone to get where they want. And then he's going to move on to somebody else. That's not what I would be open for.
Hey, you know how hard it is? That's some dude's game plan is just to get in the crib. You know how hard it is to get rid of somebody once they done got in? It ain't as easy as you think.
It is. It depends on how long you let them stay.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, they cannot receive any mail at your house. That's number one. Second, they can't stay longer than 30 days. They have to get out on day 29.
Day 29 got to go.
Third, they do not receive a key. You cannot come in this house if I'm not here. So you got to make sure that you set your time up when I'm here and I can let you in. Yeah. I'm in real estate. Those are the ways that you prevent people from becoming a part of the house. Those are the ways. Because if not, then you have to go through eviction.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, now it's gotten so much better. It's gotten so much better. But listen, anytime you want to evict somebody or get them out your house, what you do is you have a family member who the worst family member in the world move in. Then you can get them out real quick.
Some people don't care. They may stay anyway. Some people do not. But yeah, I think that's the definite thing is less than 30 days. Are you?
Oh yeah, less than 30 days. Less than 30 days.
And with communication, like this is going to be the plan. What are you doing?
I'm just looking around.
You're looking around? All on the other side of there's a show going on and you just okay. This is marriage. Did you say would you be okay with us living apart and only seeing each other once every 2 weeks?
Oh, is that what they did?
So Cheryl Lee Ralph and her husband, he lives in Pennsylvania. She lives in Hollywood, and they see each other every 2 weeks. But they've been like that for 20 years, and it worked. I wouldn't. I know
it ain't happening for me.
It wouldn't happen for me.
I got Mama got needs.
Oh.
Mama got needs, and
Yeah,
I need it at least 3-4 days a week.
yeah.
Hey, you with me, Adrian? You with me? Should I take 7 if I could?
8 if it was allowed.
Okay. Just the extra one day, make it twice.
Well, would you move in with a girl if you were would you ask a girl could you move in if you were at hard times?
No, I have too many male friends for that. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think that should be the last. Oh, he's back.
I got you, Mo. I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Get
Boy.
off.
Boy.
Get off. Get off. You're not invited back anymore.
But to what you earlier, like it was a different time. Now they don't want the guy in the race. They want the guy at the finish line. So to see the potential, they're not waiting for that anymore. It's like, what are you doing?
Age. I think if you're in your 20s, it's different. It's different. If you're different. If you're in your 40s and at 50, sir, I don't know what.
No, but now in their 20s, they're not doing that. They're not.
You're right. You're right. That's the problem. Is even the girls in their 20s, they're looking at the basketball players and they're saying, I want a man that's buying Birkin bags, and that's ridiculous. Adrian, you gotta go.
Like, how much?
And yeah, because that's all that Birkin bag.
That's foolishness.
My husband can afford that. I don't even want that. I watched a thing with Shannon Sharp the other day, and he said if he could have told his 20-year-old self anything, he would have told his 20-year-old self he didn't need the cars, the watches, and all that stuff to arrive. Once he became Shannon Sharp, he arrived, and he would have stuck his money in. You know how I am about money and finances, Crystal. He would have stuck his money in some vehicle so the money would make more money. Like if it were me and I were dating in this age and time, the question I'm asking men is, what's your retirement plan look like? That's what I want to know. What's your retirement plan look like? Because you can make all the money in the world right now. But if you ain't saving it and putting it somewhere and doing something with it, when you get older, we in trouble.
Yeah. But see, that's true. The younger people are not looking at tomorrow; they're looking at today. And because everything is so materialistic, when you're spending that much money, you're not retaining it. And I always tell women, like, you look at. I think I've said this on the show before. I go ride horses with a lot of cowboys and people like that. And those men, most of them worked a real honest job, a hard blue collar job. But they are loaded because they have a little modest car, they have land, which to me is everything, and they have saved their money and they're smart with their money. Because they're not in sections trying to buy sections. I don't want a man that's out trying to show you how much money he has. I want one that is not worried about that, and we can actually like do things that first of all have security, because security is the most. If you want to get a woman turned on, to me, a real woman, security is a huge turn on. So what does that look like? And if you made, there have been studies, and Tammy could probably speak to this more than myself. There have been studies on a man that makes $50,000 a year. If he's smart with his money, he can be a millionaire at the time of retirement, where someone who has made 6 figures but has spent all 6 can be struggling. So I would definitely rather be with someone that is looking at life from a perspective of where are we going, as opposed to we're balling out right now. I don't want to ball out. God bless the women that want to ball out, but that's not what I'm looking to do. I'm not looking for it. Mo, what do you think about this whole idea with the women and men message not being heard? Like, as far as what you guys are looking for in a woman. Someone asked earlier that men say they don't care about a woman's job, they don't care about how much a woman has. What are you all looking for? What do you want?
Well, if you're talking to a man of a certain age, and you're going to hear this a lot, and I know women are tired of hearing it, and it's only through understanding, like getting at a certain age, but the peace, and what we mean by peace is, because that's getting misunderstood too, it's just like, listen, let's just do what's just necessary. You know what I mean? I work, I get off work. I don't want to, sometimes, in a relationship could be a full-time job, right? Let's say you're dealing with someone that's insecure.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with an insecure person is a full-time job. I need peace. I need someone that's confident. Confident person brings peace. You know what I mean? At least on that part of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the other part of it is, and a lot of guys are going to agree with this, but let's say you work 10 to 12 hours a day. And you got to come home to a whole list of other stuff to do that she finds you to do. That honey-do list is real. And it's like, be understanding towards me that I just worked 12 hours. And maybe you did too, but I'm not asking you to do a whole bunch of stuff. The men at a certain point let's just do what's necessary. All the people in general, the house scales down to what we need.
Right.
If it's not something that's going to eventually break us up, to not keep harping on it. Once,
what about
if not after that, let it go.
What about characteristics, though? Characteristics that you want in a woman besides peaceful.
Well, okay. I like that. The characteristics. I like that. Most men that I talk to, calm, pleasant, and we're not going to always be these every day, obviously, right? Like I spoke to a woman not too long ago, and she was like, "I hate men that are argumentative, that like to yell, that raise their voice." That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What? And I respect that. Vice versa. We don't like a loud, boisterous woman either.
Mm-hmm.
Person either. Calm. That kind of thing. But I think just above anything else is respect. And you can't force anyone to respect you.
Right. They have to, I think a woman has to respect you. That, like, a woman knows if she respects that man. You cannot make a person respect you. Either
Right.
they do or they don't. And I think as a woman, I had to learn that there were a lot of men that I didn't respect, and that those weren't the right men for me. I might like them, but I didn't respect them. But I need to be with someone that I automatically respect. So I think that's important. But I think a lot of times it is confusing when you hear men say, what they don't want, because a lot of times they're not. I think all of us need to stop talking about what we don't want and talk about what we do want. And so we're talking about characteristics that we want. I think we would like to hear more men share what does that look like, because we do hear peace, but a peaceful personality is different, going to look different for every person. But I think men need to communicate, what do they want? When you say, well, what do you bring to the table, which is a stupid question for anybody to ask, just get to know that person. But when you say that, or when a woman is like, when a man and a woman are first meeting and you're having this conversation about what you like or what you would want, I don't really hear a lot of men explain what they want in a woman. What characteristics?
Food, sex, and silence.
Well, I have heard that.
You had me on the first two, but the third one you lost me. Because if I'm getting the second one, I need to share my voice.
I need to share.
No, and everybody does, and we don't know. You know what? But how that calming down period, especially if you work those hours I mentioned, not as soon as you come through the door. Hell, sometimes even before you get home.
But I think that goes both ways, because women are working now as well. Someone asked earlier, do you work, Tammy? And she does. She's a real estate agent and does.
Yeah, I work. I got a few jobs.
Yes, she does.
A few businesses.
So she's definitely not a woman that stays home. But I think there are some. I do know some Black women that do stay home and do not work.
Oh yeah, I used to.
Yeah, I think there are. I had I did for 3 years. My son was little, because my husband did not, at the time, my ex-husband did not want me to work. He wanted me to stay home, because he grew up in a home with a Black mom and a Black dad, where the mom did not work at all, and the dad provided. So I think you have to, you got to find a man or be open to a man that talks like you want. when I met my ex-husband, he said, I believe that if I marry a woman, she does not have to work. I am supposed to provide for her. My husband now said the same exact thing. I don't really know. I would not be with a man that was like, and I did date a guy that was like, I want a woman that, basically I felt like he wanted to crack the whip across my back. So I cut him off. I don't want that. I will work because I like to work, but I don't want to be with a man that wants a provider. I don't want to be a husband. I would like to be a wife. So,
I saw this thing where I think we talked about it before, where it was like when men, whether they fall in love or like, if he's into a woman, he wants right what's in front of him, and he does not want it to change. Now, on the other side, it feels like women, well, if he gets married, he'll change. He'll do this, he'll change. I could get him and help him get a better job, or this, that, and the other. And then when he doesn't change, then she's mad. So that's where a big disconnect is. We don't want change when we meet you.
Yeah.
But my thing is, there is a middle ground. If you see a man, and I would tell anybody, man or woman, but especially if you see someone that's not ambitious, and they're not trying things or have goals, ask yourself, can you deal with that for the rest of your life? But
well, Nita asked, does his definition of peace mean a woman can't ever speak her mind? Does it mean be quiet and give me what I want, but don't ask me for anything? What is your definition of peace?
You got it right. That's it right there. No, I'm just playing. No, what it is like some stuff when you get older, you find out it's not even necessary or worth it. And they tell men that. I've learned that from older men. I had a black man and Jewish guy said the same exact thing to me. He's like, man, once you get older, I even heard Denzel say it.
I'm listening now.
You get to the point, you just be like, you know what? It's not even worth it. And just be like, okay, dear. He said, those, okay, dear, that's to anything. He was like, man, it'll save a whole lot. And what they're basically saying, if it's not necessary, sometimes we argue about the dumbest things. Like, come to me and get on me about stuff that eventually will break us up. But if it's not, it's no need to keep harping over it. It's just going to turn this, it's unnecessary. I'm tired, you're tired. Come to me of what's necessary. If it's not necessary, don't dwell on it too long. You keep it pushing.
I think that can be a fine line, because you don't want people to feel like what is important to me is not important to you. So I think you have to have a situation, at least in my opinion, where something could be really important to me. It may not be important to you, but I do need to know that you're concerned about my feelings. I don't want you to make me feel like if it's not going to make me leave today, I don't need to address it. I think it's maybe the way that you address certain things, because a woman should feel like she can come to her man and express her feelings. You don't want to feel like you can't, he's going to think anything I say is petty. That's not a good situation either. So I think we need to understand, what do you think? What is your definition of peace? If a woman is really upset about something and she feels like she's not getting enough from you, like she's not getting enough affection, she should be able to vocalize that.
No, that's just about me or about us. That's a little bit different, but it's a lot of, man, I'm trying to think of something I could pull out that the dumbest arguments I think about now, I wouldn't even entertain. It's like, or I'll just entertain it, but I just won't go into explaining and just be like, okay solves a lot of stuff I'm saying. I don't want to do it no more. It's like,
I don't like when Adrian does, okay, you're right. I don't like that, because I feel like you're patronizing me. I don't like it. Tammy, what do you
Can
think?
I say something?
Yes.
Okay. So just being married for 28 years, some of the dumbest stuff we fight over, first dumb stuff is the man don't clean up enough around the house. That's the first dumb thing. And I think is what I've learned over the years, and what a wise older woman taught me: don't sweat the small stuff. Because I'll be like, you put your shoes here, you did this here, you did that there, and you didn't clean up this, and I had to clean up that. But at the same time, she asked me, she said, do you have money? I said, yes. She said, hire a maid and leave your husband alone. I said, okay. Point taken. And like my kids would come home sometime. My kids would come home. They'd be like, well, daddy don't do this and daddy don't do that. I said, well, let me tell you something. I said, when you start making the high six figure that daddy makes, you could do what you wanted to. Until then, you shut your mouth and you bite your tongue, because daddy has earned the right to not do anything in this house. So I just had to say, you know what? I don't care if he does he ain't got to do nothing. I thank you for your money. I'm gonna go hire somebody to come and they clean the house. And you know what? It's no argument. I've learned over the years, because when I was younger, I think as women, when we're younger, I think what Mo is talking about, how we nitpick everything.
Yeah.
How we nitpick oh, your shirt, you left your shirt. Oh, I went in the kitchen and you left some dishes in the dish. You know what I did? They would leave dishes in the sink. So one day they came, couldn't nobody get no dishes. I said, the paper plates are on the counter. Because you know what? That'll surely go in the trash. Yeah. Because I'm not a maid and I'm tired of talking to everybody. So I just put the paper plates out there. But I stopped arguing and complaining about everything, because I started to get on my own nerves. Because I was always saying something. And my mom helped me out. My mom helped me out with my husband, because she said one reason why your husband doesn't do a lot is because you would do everything. You would do everything. Like if I had the kids, I would do everything. So when he had the kids, he didn't understand why I had such a hard time. And she was like, because you just did everything. She said, stop doing everything. And when he's there with the kids, let him see what it takes for you to do it. And when he sees that, he's more appreciative. And he did. He became more appreciative. And then he would come in from work. I would give him a whole hour. The kids, we didn't say anything. We agreed to him when he came in, but we left him alone to let him decompress. I would give him that hour. Then I would have another hour where I would cook dinner and we would eat. But then my mom told me, she said, stop staying in the house. She said, after he does that, you leave and go get your decompression time. Because that's when I was staying at home and I wasn't working. So I would leave. I could go to the mall. A lot of times I would go to Walmart and literally walk around Walmart. I would be on the phone outside of Walmart talking to my friends for like an hour and a half, and I'd come home. But that was the best time because I also got to decompress. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's the biggest thing, is not sweating the small stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's all.
Yeah, I remember older women telling me that, and I never understood. For that time, I remember that 3 years that I stayed home with my son. When you stay at home all day, as soon as your husband gets in the door, you want to talk to him. You want to and I remember older ones saying, leave him alone when he gets home. And I'm like, what do you mean leave him alone? I've been here and what do you mean? But I think a lot of the things that we heard older women say were right. But then also a lot of their issues, it's kind of crazy because a lot of them just took it and shut up and were unhappy. And I think nowadays women are not open to do that. I don't want to be unhappy. I know I would rather be by myself than to be in a situation where I was just taking it. But I think you also have to realize that you're not perfect and you're not going to find a perfect person. There are a lot of women that I talk to and I hear that are constantly pointing out the issues that men have, but they're also not taking into consideration men see a lot of issues on our end as well. Just like, we do hear them say the same things, which was the conversation today about, the makeup and just a lot of things that women are not listening to them. So I think you have to look at both sides and try to just pick your battles. Like you said, nosy nurse, pick your battles and just try to definitely food, sex, and silence. Men will always want that. I think men, regardless of culture, age, race, religion, they will all agree on that. But you know what? I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I like silence too. I don't need to be taught. Hey,
this is for everyone. This is for everyone.
I don't need to be up in your face all the time. I got stuff to do. I'm like, Tammy, I'm going to the mall. How about that? You can stay in there quiet. Food is done. I'm out. Hey, something for everybody. Something for everybody. But that is our show for tonight. Tammy, thank you for joining. Can you share with people where they can find more? We have to have you come back and talk about finances because I think obviously finances are the biggest issue that breaks people up. Finances actually has more divorces than intimacy and infidelity. Finances, because when the finances are bad, everything
Everything is bad.
everything is bad. I cannot be peaceful when we are broke. I cannot be peaceful when there's trouble. So we need to have you come back and let's talk about finances and what we need to be looking at in the beginning of the relationship, in the marriage. How do we deal with the marriage when we are going through issues? Should we have prenups? We'll have Tammy come back and talk about that, but let people know where they can find you, Tammy, if they want to follow you and learn more about what you do.
You can find me on Instagram at Tammy Morris Goodwin.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
And we'll have you come back. And like I said, we'll do one Wednesday. We'll just focus all on finances. We'll start with dating and then go to the prenup and then go to the marriage and talk about how do we manage and how do we work together.
I like that.
Love you guys for tuning in. Remember, Friday, we have a lot to discuss. Love. I think we timed it. Crime and Infidelity, Huntsville.
Yes.
Crime and Infidelity, Huntsville. Not Love and Marriage, Huntsville. There's a lot to talk about. There's a new show, Wags, with Ocho Cinco's ex. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. And also, Letitia Pearson will be sitting down with Carlos King. So we'll be talking about that conversation and all the drama happening on Crime and Infidelity. Yes, Mo.
Say something. I want to thank all the people for wishing me well. I really appreciate it. All the people, all the well wishes. The ladies that jumped in the DM was a little crazy, but other than that, I really want to thank you. I appreciate that. It warms my heart. I am feeling better. I'm about 95-96% better, and I truly appreciate it. So thank you.
Y'all were in his DM with inappropriate suggestions.
I mean, it wanted to come to the house. It was a couple of them. It was a little wild.
Oh my goodness. No, you know what? Haitian Empress said, did you have a colonoscopy? No, he had sciatica.
Now you want to come back with all
Empress, we missed you. Please be here Friday. Please be here Friday when we're talking about crime and infidelity, Huntsville. Please be here Friday. Mo, good to see that you are up and moving around. You don't need a walker to get up. Your sciatica is good. You got it under control?
For the most part, yes. Thank y'all. Thank you, too.
All right. And again, thank you, Tammy, for joining us. We love you guys for watching. We'll see you Friday at 10.
Friday, y'all.
Bye.